Welcome to Fluent Studio.
Learn English the smart way. Speak better.
Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest, even if the answer is a little uncomfortable.
Okay, go ahead.
Have you ever sat in a room full of people speaking English, understood every single word, and then when someone looked at you and said, "What do you think?" your mind went completely silent?
Oh, that's too real.
Not because you didn't know English, not because you weren't smart enough, but because something inside you said, "Wait, I'm not ready yet."
And by the time you felt ready, the moment was already gone.
That moment, that painful, frustrating moment, that's exactly what today's episode is about. And if you've ever felt it, stay with us, because what you're about to hear might completely change how you think about speaking English.
Welcome, everyone. You're listening to the English Today podcast.
The podcast where we have real conversations to help you speak English with more confidence, more comfort, and a whole lot less fear.
And today, we're talking about something that almost no English course will tell you directly.
Something thousands of learners discover too late.
Waiting for fluency before you start speaking is the one habit that keeps fluency away.
We're going to break that habit today, together. But first, find a comfortable place. Take a slow breath.
You don't have to do anything right now except listen. Let the English come to you.
And by the end of this episode, we promise you will feel something shift.
All right, let's start with a question that might surprise you.
I love starting here. Go ahead.
What does the word fluency actually mean to you? Close your eyes for just a second and picture it. What do you see?
I think most learners see the same image. Someone speaking fast, no hesitation, no searching for words, smooth, confident, almost perfect English, like a news presenter or a movie star.
Beautiful, effortless, flawless.
And here's the thing that will either surprise you or deeply comfort you. That image, it's not real.
Even for native speakers.
Native speakers pause. Native speakers say and you know what I mean.
They lose their train of thought. They start a sentence and change it in the middle.
They forget words. They repeat themselves all the time. So if native speakers, people who have spoken English their entire lives, don't speak that perfectly, why are we as learners waiting to reach a standard that doesn't even exist?
That's the trap. Learners are measuring themselves against a picture of perfect English that no real human actually speaks.
And because that picture is impossible to reach, they wait and keep waiting.
But here is the most important thing we want you to hear today, and we're going to say it clearly.
The goal is not perfect English. The goal is useful English. English that helps you say what you need to say to the people you need to say it to.
English that connects you. English that opens doors. English that gets things done.
And here's the part that might actually shock you. You already have that English, right now. Maybe not all of it, but far more than you think.
Say that with us, right now, out loud if you can.
I already know more than I think.
Say it again.
I already know more than I think.
Good. Hold on to that, because we're going to prove it to you before this episode is over.
But first, let's talk about the real reason learners don't speak, because it's not actually about vocabulary. It's not about grammar rules.
It goes much deeper than that.
One word.
Fear.
Fear. That's it. Fear is the wall between the English in your head and the English that comes out of your mouth.
But fear is a big word, so let's look at it closely. Let's break it down into 3 specific fears, because when you can name a fear, it starts to lose its power over you.
The first fear, and almost every learner has this one, is the fear of making mistakes.
What if I say the wrong thing?
What if I use the wrong tense?
What if I forget a word right in the middle of a sentence?
And honestly, this fear is understandable. We've all been in situations where getting something wrong felt embarrassing.
But I want to tell you something that genuinely changed the way I think about mistakes, and I want you to really listen to this.
Please.
Mistakes are not the opposite of learning. Mistakes are learning.
Read that again in your mind.
Mistakes are not the opposite of learning. Mistakes are learning.
Every single time you make a mistake in English and you notice it, or someone gently helps you fix it, your brain rewires itself. It gets a tiny bit stronger, a tiny bit faster, a tiny bit more accurate.
You are literally building a better English brain, one mistake at a time.
So the next time you make a mistake, instead of shrinking inside, try to think this. Good, my brain just learned something it didn't know before.
That small shift in thinking, it changes everything.
Now, the second fear, and this one lives very quietly inside a lot of learners.
The fear of judgment.
What will they think of me if my English isn't good?
Will they think I'm not educated, not smart? Will they lose patience with me?
Here's what I want you to try. Think about a moment when someone spoke to you in your own language, but they were clearly still learning. Maybe a foreigner trying to speak Urdu or Hindi or Arabic or your native tongue.
How did that make you feel? Most people feel something warm, something like respect. Wow, this person is trying. That takes courage.
Exactly. The people who truly judge you harshly for imperfect English are very few, and their judgment, honestly, says far more about them than it does about you.
The fear of judgment you feel in your head is almost always much bigger than the judgment that exists in real life.
And the third fear, the one most people never even talk about, is the fear of sounding different.
Oh, say more about this one, because I think this one runs very deep.
Some learners feel that speaking English means changing who they are, like wearing a mask, and that feeling is connected to something real, identity.
And then there's the accent. My accent makes me sound less professional. My accent makes people not take me seriously.
Let's be completely direct about this.
Your accent is not a flaw. Your accent is a fingerprint. It tells the world where you come from. It is a part of you.
The entire goal of speaking English is not to sound like a BBC presenter. The goal is to be clearly understood.
And clear, beautiful English exists in hundreds of accents. Nigerian English, Pakistani English, Filipino English, Mexican English, Indian English, all real, all powerful, all valid.
If the person across from you understands what you're saying, your English is working. Full stop.
All right, we've named the fears, we've looked them in the eye. Now let's talk about what you can actually do, starting today. Not next week, not when your English feels better. Today.
And we are starting very, very small, because I think a lot of learners believe the only speaking that counts is a long, fluent, impressive conversation.
But that's simply not true. And waiting for that big conversation is exactly how people end up never speaking at all.
Small moments count. Tiny moments count. One sentence counts.
So here is the first thing you can try. Today, without any preparation, without any special equipment.
Talk to yourself. In English.
I know how that sounds.
But stay with us, because this is one of the most powerful and most underused speaking methods that exists.
When you're in the kitchen making chai, narrate it, out loud, in English. I'm boiling the water. I'm adding the tea. The kitchen smells amazing.
When you're getting ready in the morning, I'm washing my face. The water is cold. I need to find my keys.
No audience, no pressure. No one to judge you. Just your voice, and the English coming out of your mouth.
And something interesting happens after a few days of this. The words start coming quicker, more easily, because your mouth, your actual muscles, are getting used to making English sounds.
Think of it like warming up before a run. You wouldn't sprint a race with cold, stiff legs. Talking to yourself is how you warm up your English voice before the real conversations.
Now, the second thing, even simpler. Say one English sentence in a real situation every single day. Just one.
Maybe at a store. Excuse me, do you have this in a different size? Maybe at work. Could you say that again, please? Maybe just to a friend. That's a really good idea.
And here's the secret about starting with just one sentence. It almost never stays at just one, because the other person responds, and suddenly you're inside a small, real conversation. And you did it. That is a real win. That counts. That is you speaking English.
Let's stop here for a moment, because I want to give you something you can carry with you into every conversation from today forward. A phrase, simple, polite, and incredibly powerful.
Could you say that again, please?
Say it with us.
Could you say that again, please? One more time slowly. Could you say that again, please?
This phrase is not a sign of weakness. Native speakers use it in meetings, in phone calls, in everyday conversations. It is simply good communication.
And here's a bonus phrase, maybe even more powerful. When you want to check that you understood correctly, say, So you mean, and then repeat back what you heard.
So you mean the deadline is Friday.
So you mean I need to call them first.
2 phrases, carry them with you everywhere. They will rescue you more times than you can imagine.
All right, let's do something practical together. Our first role play. Ready?
Ready.
Picture this. You walk into a coffee shop. You want to order. Your heart is beating just a little bit faster than usual. The person behind the counter smiles at you and says,
Hi there. What can I get started for you today?
Hi, can I have, coffee with milk, please?
Of course. Would you like that large or small?
Sorry, could you say that again, please?
Sure. Large or small?
Oh, small, please, thank you.
Perfect. It'll be just a few minutes.
Thank you so much.
Now let's look at what just happened. Was that conversation perfect?
Not at all. There was an there were pauses, I even asked for a repeat.
And did it work?
100%. The order was placed, the message was received, the coffee was coming.
That is what real English looks like. That is what real speaking looks like. And that person, the nervous one ordering coffee, that person succeeded.
And if you've been too afraid to speak, I want you to know that person was you, and you can do exactly what they just did.
Let's talk about something that lives inside the head of almost every English learner. The thing that slows them down more than any missing vocabulary ever could.
Grammar.
Grammar, the silent monster.
Here's a question, and I want you to answer it honestly, even just in your own mind. How much mental energy do you spend worrying about grammar while you're trying to speak?
For most learners, it's enormous. They're trying to build a sentence, check the tense, remember the preposition, and follow the conversation all at the same time.
And the result? By the time the grammar feels right, the moment to speak has passed.
So here's the truth that most grammar textbooks won't put on the front cover.
In natural, everyday spoken conversation, perfect grammar matters far less than most learners believe.
Think about what makes a conversation actually successful.
Did the other person understand what you meant?
Yes, that's it. That's the whole test.
Not whether you said, I have gone or I went. Not whether your adjective was in the perfect position. Did they understand you?
Communication first, accuracy second.
Now, and this is important, grammar still matters. It matters in writing, in formal situations, in exams. We're not saying throw grammar away.
We're saying don't let grammar become the wall between you and speaking.
And here's the part that surprises most people. The best way to improve your grammar is not to study it more, it's to speak more.
Because as you speak, you hear correct English, you hear your own English, and your brain quietly, slowly, powerfully begins to adjust.
Grammar starts to feel natural, not because you memorized a rule, but because you used the language enough times for it to sink in.
Speaking is not just practice for speaking. Speaking is the learning. I want to talk about something that no one prepares you for when you start learning a language.
What's that?
The bad days.
Oh, yes.
You know exactly what I mean, don't you?
Every learner does. Some days your English flows. You feel confident, sharp, connected. Words come before you even search for them.
And then, with no warning, the very next day, or maybe after a stressful week, or when you're tired, it's like someone quietly switched the light off.
Your English feels gone, like you're starting from zero again.
And if you don't know that this is completely normal, it can feel devastating.
But here is what we need you to really hear. That bad day is not you going backwards. That bad day is not proof that you can't do this.
It's just a bad day. Every single language learner on the planet has them.
Language learning doesn't travel in a straight line upward. It goes up, then dips a little, then up again, and sometimes, yes, sideways.
The sideways days. I've had so many sideways English days.
We all have. And what matters most on those days is not that you perform perfectly.
What matters is that you don't stop.
Be gentle with yourself. Rest if you need to, but come back. Because the learner who keeps showing up on the hard days, that's the learner who eventually looks back and realizes they made it.
Now, let's talk about some habits.
Not grammar habits, speaking behavior habits, the ones that quietly hold learners back without them even realizing it.
Yes, these are the invisible walls.
The first one, translating in your head before you speak.
This one is everywhere. Learners think in their first language, Urdu, Arabic, Spanish, Mandarin, then build the English sentence word by word inside their mind, then speak. And the result is speaking that feels slow, mechanical, and exhausting because you're doing two mental jobs at the same time.
And often the translated sentence sounds slightly strange in English because languages have different rhythms, different sentence shapes, different logic.
So the goal, and yes, it takes time, is to start thinking in English, even small thoughts, even just, I'm hungry, instead of mentally saying it in your language first.
It feels impossible at the beginning, we know. But the more you practice, the more your brain learns to live inside English, not just visit it.
And when that shift happens, speaking changes completely.
The second invisible habit, waiting until the perfect sentence is fully formed before you open your mouth.
The endless internal editing problem. Some learners spend so long constructing the ideal sentence in their head that the conversation has moved 3 steps ahead by the time they're ready.
And the other person, not knowing what's happening, might think you don't want to talk or that you didn't hear them.
So the fix? Start speaking before the sentence is complete. Let the words lead you forward.
Use phrases that give your brain a few extra seconds without making the conversation feel strange.
Let's practice these together right now. Repeat after us.
That's a good question.
Say it. That's a good question.
Let me think for a second.
Let me think for a second.
What I mean is...
What I mean is...
How do I put this?
How do I put this?
These are not stalling tactics. These are exactly what confident, fluent speakers say every single day. They buy you time and they sound completely natural doing it.
Second role play. This one pushes a little further.
Let's do it.
You're at a small work gathering. Someone you've never met walks towards you smiling.
Hey, I don't think we've met. I'm Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Nice to meet you. My name is Raza.
Nice to meet you, Raza. So what do you do?
I work in IT, software, computers.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you enjoy it?
Yes, actually. It's challenging sometimes, but I like it. What about you?
I'm a teacher. English, actually.
Oh, that's funny. I'm actually trying to get better at my English.
Really? Honestly, your English sounds great.
Thank you. I'm still learning, but I keep trying.
And there you have it. A real, warm, successful conversation. A little slow in places, a small laugh at the right moment, an honest admission.
And that honesty, I'm still learning, did something remarkable.
It made the conversation more human, more real, more connected.
You never have to pretend your English is better than it is. You just have to be yourself and keep going.
Now, let's get very practical for a moment, because one of the questions we hear most often is, this all makes sense, but who do I actually speak English with?
Especially if you don't live in an English-speaking country, especially if the people around you mostly speak your native language. And the answer is, there are more options available to you right now than you probably realize.
First, language exchange partners. There are free apps and websites where you can connect with someone who speaks English natively and wants to learn your language. You speak English for 30 minutes, they speak your language for 30 minutes. You both get better together.
Free, friendly, completely real.
Second, online English conversation groups. Many are free. You join a video call, you talk with other learners about a topic. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is judging. Everyone is in the same place doing the same brave thing.
And there is something deeply comforting in practicing with other learners because they understand the struggle from the inside.
Third, and this one catches people off guard, comment sections.
Say more. The next time you watch an English video, maybe something like this podcast, write a comment. Just 2 sentences. What did you learn? What did you think? What did you feel?
Writing is speaking practice in disguise. You are still forming English thoughts and putting them into words.
And sometimes someone replies, and suddenly you have a conversation. Fourth,
change the language on your phone to English.
small, simple, but every notification, every menu, every button, your brain reads English, absorbs English without any extra effort.
The smallest habits repeated daily build the biggest results. I want to come back to the title of today's episode because I think it's time to really sit with it.
Don't wait for fluency. Start speaking English today.
Some people hear this and feel a little resistance, but I'm not ready.
And I want to respond to that resistance with complete honesty.
You are waiting for something that can only arrive by doing the very thing you are waiting to do.
Fluency does not come first. Fluency comes from speaking.
You cannot think your way to fluency. You cannot study your way to fluency alone. You have to speak your way there.
It's exactly like learning to swim. You can read the best books on swimming technique. You can watch hours of video. You can understand every movement in your mind perfectly.
But the moment you step to the edge of the water, your body has no idea what to do.
Because the body learns by being in the water, not by thinking about the water.
Speaking English is your water, and the only way to learn it is to get in.
Yes, it's uncomfortable at first. Yes, your heart beats a little faster. Yes, the first sentences feel clumsy and slow.
But something happens. Every single time you speak, the fear gets a fraction smaller, and the confidence gets a fraction larger.
And one day, not tomorrow, maybe not next month, but one day you will be sitting in a conversation in English, and you will realize something almost unbelievable.
What?
You are not thinking about speaking English anymore. You are simply speaking.
That is the moment fluency arrives. Quietly, without announcement, after all the brave, imperfect, beautiful attempts that came before it.
And it doesn't show up before the practice. It shows up because of it.
Before we close today, 2 simple, real, doable tasks, things you can start in the next 24 hours.
Keep it simple. We mean that.
Task 1. Tonight, before you sleep, spend 5 minutes talking to yourself in English. Just 5. Tell yourself about your day.
Today I woke up early. I had a long meeting. I was tired by the afternoon, but I'm proud I listened to this podcast.
Simple, honest, yours. And if you want to push yourself just slightly further, record it on your phone. Listen back.
Listening to yourself speak is one of the most powerful tools available to any language learner. You'll notice your own patterns. You'll hear yourself improving over time.
Yes, it feels strange at first. Do it anyway.
Task 2. Tomorrow, in a real moment, say one English sentence or type one English comment somewhere online.
Thank you, this was really useful. Or, I agree with this completely. Or, I tried this today and it helped.
One sentence, that's all, and you will have spoken English today.
We are almost at the end, and before we say goodbye, I need to tell you something I mean completely.
Please, if you listen to this episode all the way through, you are not the person who gives up. You are not the person who says maybe later. You are the person who shows up.
You are not behind. You are not too old. You are not too far from where you want to be.
You are exactly where every fluent speaker once stood, at the beginning of something that felt too big.
And they started anyway, one imperfect sentence at a time.
English is not a finish line you cross and then you're done. It's a journey, and every single step, every stumble, every brave try, it all counts.
Even the hard days, even the sideways days.
Especially those.
So here is our final message, the one we want to stay with you long after this episode ends.
Don't wait for perfect. Don't wait for ready. Don't wait for the fear to disappear before you use your voice.
Because the confident English speaker you're becoming, they are built one brave sentence at a time, one conversation at a time, one day at a time.
And today, this very day, is the perfect day to begin.
Thank you for spending this time with us. It genuinely means something to us that you are here.
If this helped you, share it with one person who needs to hear it. You might be the reason they finally start.
And remember, talk to yourself tonight. Say one sentence tomorrow.
Try it today, really. Just try.
Until next time, keep going, keep speaking, and please be kind to yourself.
Take care, everyone.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye for now.